Good morning, CrossFit Manitowoc. This is Coach Matt coming at you with the workout for Tuesday. Tuesday's workout is a single 30-minute AMRAP, right? So that means longer, more endurance-based workout, less of singular high-intensity components, and more longer duration, lower weight, higher reps, okay? So we're gonna start off with 25 double unders or your chosen substitute. And remember what that is, because you're gonna have to come back to it every 2 minutes, right? After you have finished your 25 double unders or your sub, which is gonna be 1-for-1 singles, 15 slam balls, 50 in-place high knees. You could sub a bunch of different things for that. The goal is that you are moving at a high cardiovascular pace for somewhere around 30 seconds, right? And if it's less than that, that's great, because a lot of you guys can do 25 double unders in 15 seconds, totally fine. Then you're gonna move to the dumbbell snatch. So dumbbell snatch, you're gonna have that single dumbbell in your hand. I want you to touch it to the floor, nice straight back, drive hard with the legs, catch in one motion overhead. So specifically on the dumbbell snatch, I want to make sure we're not turning it into a stand-up bicep curl shoulder press, right? So in other words, the key on that one is speed, and speed comes from the hips. So make sure you are driving hard through the hips, snap, jump that dumbbell up in one motion, okay? Then move to box jumps. So box jumps, this can be anywhere from 16 to 24 inches. If you're taller and you have a naturally higher jump, I want you to move it towards the higher end of that scale. If you're shorter or your jumps are lower, then move towards the lower end of the scale. And what we can use on this is, say, find 2 stairs at your house, jump on those. If you have a car bumper, you can jump on a car bumper. If you have a chair that has a stable back to it, right, you can jump on that. Ask your parents first, but jump on your couch, right? Anything that you can jump on is fine. Just make sure if you're using some type of odd home object for this that it's stable and it's not going to slip out from underneath you and send you shooting onto your backside when you do it, okay? Next is wall ball shots. Wall ball shots, again, we're doing the squatting motion, extending up and pressing, and you can improvise with all kinds of stuff, like the weighted backpack that I had. If you don't have something to bounce it off of, or if it's a weird object that's shaped funny that's gonna go in a weird direction when you bounce it, just do a release from your hands and then catch it again and bring it back to your chest, right? It doesn't have to be 10 feet or 9 feet. It doesn't have to be 20 pounds or 14 pounds. Just make sure it's a relatively weighted object that you're doing a full depth squat and then extend and press over your head with, right? And if you're in a basement or a place with a short ceiling, then just touch the ceiling with it, okay? But make sure that preserve the range of motion, which is squat to press with an explosive drive at the end of it, as opposed to always thinking about I have to be exactly 10 feet, and I have to be exactly 20 pounds, or I have to be, you know, in these exact weights and ranges. Go for what is the core of that movement, right? 40 pull-ups. Pull-ups can be another tough one if you don't have equipment or like a pull-up bar at home. But let's say you have no pull-up bar, but you have a tree and some rope, right? All I've done is taken this is like 3/8 inch cord, right? I've tripled it up or quadrupled it up, and I tied some loops in the end of it. And so with this, I have a basic ring row situation that you can do, but body weight pulling is one of the hardest things to do if you don't have equipment such as like rings hanging from overhead or a pull-up bar hanging from overhead. This is a super easy way. Just throw this over a tree branch or in your garage, the exposed rafters that are up there, or you can even like put it around the corner of a door frame and then close the door, right? As long as it's secure and it's not gonna pop free, make sure you test it first, but that would be a really good option for that. All right, when you get to that 40 pull-ups, that's kind of the top of the pyramid, and you're gonna work your way back down, the same 30 wall ball shots, the same 20 box jumps, and then the 10 dumbbell snatches as you wrap around that workout. But make sure every 2 minutes you're stopping to do those 25 double unders or whatever your substitute is for it. Okay, now let's go over the warm up. So you can see it up there, and I'll put a picture of it in the chat in our Facebook group. So 6 shuttle runs. When we do the shuttle runs, I want to see you stop, touch the ground in each one before you change directions. Then we're going to do a side skip. So a side skip, we're just literally just skipping to the side, right? So you're doing the skipping motion as if you were skipping forward, but I want you pushing off to the side every time that you do it. So go down and back side skip. The next one is hurdle over under. So again, moving laterally, we're gonna pretend like you go over the hurdle, and then under the hurdle, and then over the hurdle, and then under the hurdle. Do that halfway facing one direction, halfway facing the other direction. If I didn't say it before, but each of these is about 40 feet. So just find an open spot of grass or concrete or wherever you're at if you're not in the gym. Next one is 5 and 5 single leg bounds. So for that one, we're gonna be jumping on one leg 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then jog off the rest of the distance. A skips is just a power skip. So just high knee skips. The last one is a squat to broad jump. So I want to make sure that we're squatting all the way down and then come up and broad jump. Squat all the way down, come up and broad jump. Do that circuit one time through, and then I want you to take about 5 minutes, five reps of each exercise, and then set up and test everything. And that should be about it for today. We will have some scheduled mobility sessions where one of the coaches will play a ROMWOD. We'll talk you through it a little bit. We'll have those in a Facebook Live in the athletes or the members group, and those will always be available for you to go back and play if you can't do it right with the coach when we do it live. And then we're also working on a fun set of challenges that we're going to call the Quarantine Games, and that's going to start this week as well. Make sure you guys are following Michelle's habit of the week, and this week it is on eating slowly. If you have any questions about any of that stuff, give us a question, and I hope you guys have a great day. Stay positive.